Good morning, good evening, and good night to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another week of Channel 69 News, ladies and gentlemen, where I bring you the latest and greatest news for all of our favorite games on the good old Roblox. And as you guys can see, I got my cam to work. I can move my head. I can do all that good stuff. So, yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if Roblox fixed it or if I'm using a different camera now, so that might be the issue as well. But, yeah, if you see me looking off in the distance, like over here or like over here, just kind of ignore it, you know what I mean? We have a jam-packed video today, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys know, this week we had a lot of stuff go down. We had the Southwest Florida Revamp testing, or the South Florida Revamp chassis testing, and we had the Greenville update. So, there's a lot of stuff for me to go over, and also, I have not had time to read the comments of the last Channel 69 News video, so if you guys commented some good suggestions for stuff to comment and put on the screen, let me know down below in this video. Yeah, keep commenting stuff, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, that sub button, dude, we are super close to 400,000 subscribers, so would really appreciate every single one of you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first thing we're going to get into, I'm going to stop yapping. We had the Greenville update today, ladies and gentlemen. Now, sorry, I'm looking at my, my TV screen that tells me what is up next, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go over some Greenville stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we actually just got some brand new news from Greenville. Dude, this was literally posted probably, posted like maybe an hour before you guys are seeing this video. But ladies and gentlemen, we got some big Greenville news. Hunter posted an announcement. He said, hey all, welcome to the exciting first posting of a Greenville roadmap. We want to be more open and transparent about what we're working on for the first half of this year and various information you should know coming up. We have a lot of things coming out over the course of this year and are working towards more consistent updates. Ladies and gentlemen, that is some fantastic news there. I want to be more consistent with updates, so now we're not in the dark about when updates are coming out or what they're adding, which is actually pretty cool. I kind of like the surprise, though. But ladies and gentlemen, first big, crazy news, ladies and gentlemen. We have licensed vehicles planned to release over the course of this year and beyond. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen. Greenville is finally getting real licensed cars coming into the game. That is actually insane. Real licensed, well-known vehicle brands additions added into the game, including new and old vehicles alike. We have signed multiple licensing agreements and in discussion with many more and are looking towards releasing them for all of you to enjoy. He also answered some questions about some things that people have had. Will fictional vehicles continue to be added for the foreseeable future? Yes, there will still be fictional vehicles added in the mix, though less prioritized versus the licensed cars coming into the game. So licensed vehicles obviously do have a priority over the fictional vehicles. That's actually a good question. Will customization be limited for some vehicles? There will be instances of some vehicles not having as much customization as others, though we do strive at offering the most expansive customization to the best of our abilities and brand guidelines. So I'm hoping, off rip, we're not able to do a ton to these cars in Greenville anyways. You can lower it, license plates, colors, wheels. That's basically it. So I'm hoping it isn't much more limited to that, but we will just see. It probably just depends on the brand and what they have in their guidelines and rules. Do these vehicles take time to be added into the game? Yes, licensed cars do take time to add to the game and are a long process. Long process, it could be modeling the cars, actually getting the deals, lots of things. Are suggestions possible for licensed vehicles as well like the fictional vehicles? Of course, we are looking into highly requested and or beloved models to add to the game. We cannot promise to add every single vehicle, but your suggestions will help us with future content. So basically, they are actually looking at what you guys are wanting into the game, obviously, because we're the ones playing the game. So obviously, highly requested cars are going to be the ones that are coming into the game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Greenville roadmap right here. We have a picture of what is going to be coming in each couple months, all up until the summer and later this year. So right here in the Greenville roadmap, April. Obviously, we have the April Fool's update. We have the Easter Hunt event update, which Easter is towards the end of this month. Oh, wait a minute. We get our first licensed car this month, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap. I guess it is the beginning of April, but it says could end up releasing early May. But within the next 2 months, we are getting licensed cars. In May, it says we are also getting another licensed car, smaller content updates, and additional vehicle customization options. Wonder what that means. Oh, wait a minute. I might know what that means, but I'm not telling you. New licensed cars, more licensed cars, small content updates, and more. And then the summer Seems like every single month we're almost going to have a new licensed car, which actually kind of crazy. In the summer, we will continue to have in the summer, we'll continue to have licensed cars, as well as small content updates and big map additions. Wait, more? We got Horton, and now we're getting more maps? This includes a whole new area to the map, plus a highway. Oh, no. No way we're getting a highway in Greenville in the summertime? That's actually insane. Later this year, more licensed cars. Dude, Hunter's racking these things up like, I don't know. Script, back-end work, more optimization, smaller content updates, and much more. New roleplay server menu. Holy crap, we need that. And at the bottom, it says, we are keeping track of suggestions for vehicles and features. We know a lot of you have been asking for a shakeup or a change of specific vehicles being added. We have taken note of many and are making sure they are worked on. It'll take a bit for the change to occur in the content cycle. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's actually insane. Ladies and gentlemen, that is actually insane news. So there's a lot of stuff coming for Greenville this month. On top of real licensed cars coming almost every single month from now on, we're getting a map expansion with a highway and who knows what else. Obviously, this isn't every single thing being added every single month. Obviously, there are some other things that are going to be added. Really excited for Greenville, and we have a lot to come, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited. Wait a minute. If you have not seen my update video, go and check it out. But I'm going to start with reading off the change logs in the new Greenville update. So, starting off at the top, the most obvious thing is the spring map, ladies and gentlemen. We had the new spring map added to Greenville. Also, the new dealership UI, which I gotta say, the dealership UI and the customization UI, which is new as well, is probably the craziest thing we think we've had in a while in a Greenville update. I gotta say, top tier, dude. The dealership UI and the customization UI is absolutely just, it's what we needed, bro. It makes the game feel so much better. We have the ability to recolor brake calipers, interior colors for convertibles, as well as free options for all users to change their plate state, which is pretty cool, and a few free custom wheel options for non-Game Pass users. So people who don't have the customization Game Pass get some free wheels. Got a bunch of new buildings, ladies and gentlemen. We got the theater in Horton, as well as a ton of new businesses. We got a camping supply store, we got a Taco Bell, we got a Ignition Motor Parts, we got ice cream station, we got a grocery store, we got a Super Witch, Crumble Cookie, and actually Super Witch across from Twitch got a remodel, a slight remodel. Lots of small little new things, but it looks a lot better, more refreshed. Redone roads, and as well as the biggest thing is the 6 Estates, which is the gated freaking community that is now in place of 6,000, which is insane. They've changed 6,000 probably like many times in the past year, I think, which definitely getting lots of improvements. Small farmers market. The vehicle storage pass now allows a max of 100 vehicles now, instead of, I think it was before, it was 65, I believe. Non-Game Pass players can now own up to 20. Reworked help menu UI, 2 new taxis, 28 new cars, and 9 limited, which by the time you guys are seeing this video, 1, 2, 3... But yeah, that is basically what happened with the Greenville update. Now, a couple more leaks. We have this picture right here, which looks to be some roof bars and maybe a little roof box on top of that. Guys, I know what car this is. It's a... Now, actually, this might be the BMW E30, actually. Matter of fact, now that I'm looking at it, you can kind of tell by the windows and everything. This actually might be the E30. Next thing, ladies and gentlemen, look at this picture. This was leaked, this was on Twitter, I believe. But look at that, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, this is clearly the body shape of a Lamborghini, I believe it is. It looks like to be an Aventador. A fictionalized Aventador. But the Aventador, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really hoping they actually do good with this Aventador. They've been cooking on these fictional cars, I'll tell you that. But hard to tell what it is and really get a whole grasp of what the car looks like. But off rip, the body shape and everything looks good. This picture right here. This looks to be a Lincoln, some sort of Lincoln sedan, but that's not the deal. As you guys know, there's whoever's posting these leaks is changing the file names. I thought it was Eat doing it at first, which is shout out to Eat. He posts all the leaks and stuff that I find. I thought it was him changing it, but I confirmed it is not him changing the names of the file names. It is whoever's posting these. Nice, thanks for that one. Last but not least, as you guys know, Ford has been removed. Well, okay, Ford has not been fully removed from Greenville, but there are cars that have been removed. Here's a list of the cars. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what some of these are. A couple Mustangs, the Ford GT, and then whatever the Falcon Rampage is. Keep it a buck. I don't know what that is. But yeah, those are all the cars removed from Greenville. As well as all of the other games as well. Southwest Florida. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that's all it is for Greenville. Obviously, we have the update this week, so there wasn't too much there for us. Now, as you guys know, CKRP, I don't play that game anymore just because of what happened and everything with that and their community. Their game actually got taken down. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is no more CKRP. They got taken down because of a DMCA, because obviously, as you guys know, all of their cars in the game, they were the actual cars. There was no fictionalized, nothing about it. So yeah, obviously, it was inevitable. Their game got taken down. Is CKRP going to be back up? I don't know. Also, if you guys did not see, MRT did update for April Fools as well. This is the car that they added. They added this and then the E46 M3, which had a little wing on it, and I think that was it. Just a little wing, but this was in place of the starter car with that super rusty Corolla. If you bought the super rusty Corolla, you would have had this for a day, but this is not in the game currently, so it all reverted back and now is the Corolla. But this thing had like a V10. It was super fast, sounded like an LFA, revved out to 15,000 RPM. This thing was literally insane. But yeah, that is it for MRT. Next game, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Ausverse game, which a couple episodes back, I showed that, but we have some more leaks that he has given me. So a couple leaks right here, ladies and gentlemen. We got some new trucks, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is all Australian cars. I don't have a clue about Australian cars other than Utes and Holdens. I have no idea what this could be, as well as a small little SUV. This almost looks like kind of like a Bronco / Jeep. It looks like Bronco and Jeep had like a kid almost or something like that. It's kind of what this looks like. We got some more pictures of the map, which I think it looks pretty good, dude. I'm really excited for this game. I think this game is going to be super sick. All of the stuff that he has shown me, I'm really excited. I've actually been in the game as well, which I think I've shown you guys some couple videos of that. But I'm really excited for this game. I think it's going to definitely switch up a lot of the roleplay RP community and stuff like that. But it's going to be a change other than all the new US games, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of Holdens, you got a Holden right here, or the Chevy SS is what it is in America. Also got this video of the, like a little DOT traffic control truck. And I gotta say, this thing looks pretty good. If you guys are in my slot meets and on my streams as well, you guys would see that he comes in and he, inserts these sometimes from time to time and showcases these. I'm super excited for this game. Also got some fire particles, and I gotta say, those are pretty cool. I don't know what in the world we're gonna be using fire particles for, like buildings are gonna catch on fire, or like, I don't even know, but the fire looks crazy. And last but not least, we got a cool little wheel, you want to call this, whatever wheel this would be called, I forget. But lots of cool stuff in this game. So that is it for the Ausverse game. Super cool, and I'm really excited. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts, because I saved the best for last, ladies and gentlemen. We got Southwest Florida, and holy crap, this has been the most amount of leaks we've got for Southwest Florida in a long time. And I gotta say, there is a lot of stuff for Southwest Florida. Now, there's so much stuff, and I'm not going to yap too much. I'm just going to show you guys the pictures and tell you what they are. I'm not really going to dissect them or do anything like that. Maybe a couple pictures, but I'm just going to briefly go over them because there's a lot. I don't want to sit here yapping and do 10 minutes per picture, bro. I'm not trying to do that. So let's head into some freaking Southwest Florida right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I switched over to the good old, this little TV over here. But most of the stuff I'm going to be putting up on the big screen just because I want you guys to see the full picture instead of the little dinky screen. Obviously, as you guys know, I did the chassis revamp testing earlier this week. If you guys have not seen that video, I'll put it up on the iCard right now. I highly recommend you go check out that video. Actually, the cars and the stuff in the game are really cool. So we got some close-up on 3 fictional cars. We got the Jeep, the M4, and then the Gallardo. And I gotta say, the chassis are super cool. It does not feel like an arcade game. It feels like I'm playing like an actual kind of game, you know, not no Driving Empire chassis, which no offense to Driving Empire, but it's just super arcadey chassis. These chassis feel really good. In this little chat log right here with Diaper Man or Kai, and then some guy named Luke, he's asking, Booster Experimental comes out, and he said yes, there will be a. Kai said yes, there will be a booster testing, which will be the last phase of testing. But he says they're going to pick certain people though. And it's going to be most of the OSFR people and some long-standing community members. So not everybody who is a booster in South Florida will be able to test the server. Unfortunately, it just looks like they're going to be picking certain people. But yeah, also speaking of Ford, ladies and gentlemen, all Ford vehicles are off sale, I believe, in Southwest Florida. So you can no longer buy a Ford. So do not sell your Fords, bro. Do not sell them. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, last week's episode, we saw a Porsche, which I'm going to put some pictures of the Porsche on screen. They almost basically finished it, I think. Which I gotta say, this thing looks really good. The 992, little 911 here. And it looks like they have started to work on what looks to be the GT3. It's got a more aggressive front bumper than the other one. And I gotta say, that looks pretty good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this next car, the McLaren F1. I gotta say, this thing looks good. This thing looks real good. Like, I don't have a single bad thing to say about it. The taillight's questionable. Taillight's a little, the rear end looks a little bare, but it looks good nonetheless, either way. Got a little front end picture. This looks to be a Maserati Gran Turismo, I think is what this is. This was what looks like this to be. I'm gonna put a picture of the going to put a picture of that up on the screen right now of what that looks like. You guys can't tell me that's not a Gran Turismo Maserati right there. But ladies and gentlemen, here is where we're going to get into the big leaks. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, look some Tahoe pictures. More Tahoe pictures. Sheriff Tahoe, as well as the Fire Department, Sarasota County Tahoe. Now we're actually going to get into some of these big pictures. So like I said, I'm going to put them up on the big screen. You're not going to be able to see me anymore, unfortunately, which is probably good for some of you guys. Right here. I don't know what this looks like to be some beach camping site walkway thing, which, holy crap, this looks good. I mean, let's just take it in and look at the freaking ground for a second. Lots of wavy ground. This looks like might be off-road park, actually. There's a Jeep in the background. Oh, dude, I gotta say, this update, this revamp is going to be literally insane. I'm sure you guys already know that it's going to be insane, but dude, holy crap. They're going crazy with these map features, I gotta say. Also got a little parks and rec area. Got a little pool right here, right next to the beach. Little parking lot right here. Another little off-road area right here. Got a little, the outhouses, if you will, with some park benches. Another little trail right here. Super sick. Next thing is the coffee shop. Which, you know, I don't know who made these umbrellas, but just the outside of this coffee place looks crazy, and the interior as well. I'm gonna zoom in on just all the little details. Like, look at all of the little syrups and stuff, I think is what those are over here. The cups, the coffee machines. Like, dude, the attention to detail in these places is actually insane. Coffee machines are like, this is just stupid, dude. Literally insane. So there's only 2 pictures of the coffee shop, but next is the Jeff's Pizza, which I'm assuming is very close. Wow, dude, just look at this place, dude. We got the Jeff's Pizza. We got some pizza dough in the back. Next area little here, I think this is called the St. Armand's Circle is what this is. So this looks like to be a super rich, like rich people area with a little circle, which is where I'm guessing the coffee shop is and the Jeff's Pizza. But holy crap, imagine posting up in your freaking fictionalized, like, supercars right here flicking up, dude. I'm just gonna say this right now, the edits, the edits we're gonna do, bro, the edits are gonna go crazy with all the locations that they have here. Got another little St. Armand Circle. Got a little parking lot right here. Now this looks to be a St. Armand's parking garage, which I gotta say, this looks pretty cool. Looks like a little 3-4 story parking garage, and holy crap, bro, got another little parking garage here as well. We got the roof of the parking garage right here, and god, dude, this is gonna be insane. We got fire station right here. You can see the inside. You got the kitchen here, and you got a sleeping quarter. Next is the urgent care, which got a little underground parking garage for the urgent care, which the flicks in here would be stupid. Got a little interior of the urgent care. This is where you get your exams, if you will. Next is a gas station, which this is called the Guzzlin' Gas and Food Mart, which unbelievable, dude. Well, it says Guzzlin' Gas, but on it says Jay's Food Mart. Not too sure who Jay is. Got a little crane in the background as well. We're gonna go to the interior of this. Nice little P&G snacks. Got Milo's Hot Chicken outside as well. Little food truck. Now, this doesn't look to be drivable. This looks to be just a prop because it looks like the wheels are chalked. Now, this next thing we're about to get into, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we have seen previous pictures of this, but this is the Bay Residences player apartments, ladies and gentlemen. And we saw pictures of this earlier, but just look at the driveway down to the parking garage. Nice little community area with the pool. Got a gym. You know, I'm already going to be in here a lot. And then we got the front lobby area, the just drive-in area. Oh my gosh, dude. And then, ladies and gentlemen, right here, we got the actual inside of the apartments. And I gotta say, this looks actually insane, dude. Super modernized and super detailed houses and apartments, dude. I gotta say, no offense to Greenville, but they're not pulling a Greenville. We've already seen some other house styles, and all the houses are going to be different, like different styles, different decoration. But I gotta say, it looks good, as well as you got the parking garage for this place. Now, the parking garage in itself is going to be a car meet, basically. If people get these apartments, it's going to be insane. Now, on the topic of houses, before I forget this, when I was in the chassis testing game, Kai was giving me a bunch of information about the revamp, which I'm going to go over that after I go over all these pictures. I'm just going to be yapping about some, or you can go watch the video yourself and see it, or just both, whatever. But with the houses, ladies and gentlemen, they were talking about how there's so many different house styles that they're just going to refund you of your houses in the current Southwest Florida game right now, and then you'll be able to go and buy whatever other type of house you want in the new revamps. Next, ladies and gentlemen, is the Sarasota Police Department, which this looks pretty cool. Got the locker room. Got, this is where we're going to be arrested, get your mugshot, and the jail, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be, got the meeting room, Got like the heist planning room, lots of guns and stuff on the tables as well, which that's pretty cool. Got the armory thing over here with the ammo and the guns, just super cool, dude. The attention to detail on this new map is literally stupid, dude. It's actually insane. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for all of the new Southwest Florida map leaks. Now, there is a ton of map leaks, dude, so much. But we basically just got a huge insight to the new map. I think this is the most Southwest Florida map leaks we've got. All right, so that was it for the good old Southwest Florida map leaks that we just got. And I gotta say, this map is looking incredible, dude. Big props to the devs for actually cooking on this freaking map. It's going to be insane. Totally different to the new game. But now I'm going to go over all of the information that I was given by Kai when I was in the chassis revamp. Now, there's a lot of information. All I'm going to be doing is yapping. I have no pictures or anything. New tires. You guys saw that there's new tires. There's 6 different compounds. There's like a mud terrain, an all-terrain, a sport tire, a race tire, drag radial, and a standard tire. And obviously, each different tire is going to be a different friction. So obviously a mud terrain is not going to be good on the road, but it's going to be good off-road. But it will also change the texture on the tire as well. So your tires can literally change. So you can literally put off-road tires on a Lambo and you can have a 4x4 Lamborghini. Also, there would be different brake types, which now in Southwest Florida there is different brake types, but you just have stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. Now there's actually going to be different brake types. There's obviously the solid rotor, there's drilled rotors, drilled and slotted, and carbon ceramics, and it actually changes the brake texture on the brakes when you select each different brake. Now obviously each different brake is going to have different stopping characteristics and all that stuff. Like the solid rotor is going to be worse than the carbon ceramic, obviously. Also, right now, as you guys know about the drivetrain swaps, you can obviously swap any car with if it's a front-wheel drive car, you can make it all-wheel drive, you can make it rear-wheel drive, all of that stuff. But now in the revamp, it's going to be more realistic and for better WRP. It would be kind of dumb and super expensive to rear-wheel drive swap a Lamborghini Gallardo. So obviously you're going to be able to still have drivetrain swaps, but just not on every single car. Now he said Honda Civics obviously are going to have drivetrain swaps because it's a Civic. You can literally drivetrain swap a Civic with like $5 and a honey bunner. And obviously there are different suspension types as well. There's the double wishbone, the solid axle, and then the McPherson but it's like cars in real life. So obviously each car with those different types of suspension is going to have different driving characteristics. Also, this is a big thing. I asked him if the suspension adjustability is going to be the same as it is now in the current Southwest Florida game, and he said yes. So don't worry, we're still going to be able to dump our cars and throw tons of camber on them, which is good because holy crap, I need that. I would not play Southwest Florida if they didn't have that feature. It's probably the greatest feature of all. But another big thing, ladies and gentlemen, he confirmed that we're going to have freaking sparks. He also did say the cars in the game now are tuned via dyno graph. So obviously each car has a dyno graph, and so they're going to find all the stock dyno graphs and they're going to tune them how they are in real life. So the cars are going to really resemble how they are in real life. Also, some more basic information for you guys about the cars. This is about limited cars and normal cars. So obviously he's saying if the cars at launch, because obviously every single car in Southwest Florida is going to become fictionalized. So they're not going to have any more non-fiction cars in Southwest Florida anymore once the revamp comes out. So first off, when the revamp comes out, let's say you have a car and they did not fictionalize it yet. So for example, let's say I have a Gallardo, which they obviously have finished that Gallardo, but saying if they didn't fictionalize the Gallardo and it didn't come in the launch, and you have it in your inventory, you will get refunded for that Gallardo since it is not into the game at launch. You'll get refunded for every car that is not fictionalized. Now, the limiteds, though, if the limiteds that you have are not fictionalized, it will just disappear from your inventory. But once they finish the fictionalized limited model, it will reappear back in your inventory. Basically, all of our limiteds will still get there, but it'll just be a little bit of time before we all get them. Now, obviously, they are limited, so they're not going to be coming back on sale for those of you who don't have it. They do want to make it so cars blow up. Now, it's going to be a super simple system, not like CKRP, because CKRP had like battery, alternator, spark plugs, like brake fluid level, all of that stuff. They're just going to make it super basic. Also, he did mention something about financing. He said they joked around about it, but I don't know if that's actually going to be a real thing. He said they might and they might not. But if you don't know how, I guess all of you guys are young. So if you don't know how financing a car works, obviously you don't have all the money to buy a car now. You have a credit score and you put money down on the car. And you pay certain amounts of money towards the car each month. Over time, you pay off the car with a little bit more with interest and stuff like that, obviously, and stuff like that. So I don't know how that's going to work, but being able to finance cars in Southwest Florida is going to be dumb. Because imagine you finance a Lamborghini Gallardo and you miss your payment because you're broke and they repo the car, bro. The car just disappears from inventory, bro. Also, as you guys know, some games on Roblox have what is called the voice API, I believe, where you're able to do voice chat, not just proximity, but you're able to do it throughout the entire game. Now, I played, I think it was Black Hawk Rescue Mission. They had the radios and stuff like that, so I was able to hear everyone. They are going to bring that into Southwest Florida, so I'm going to be able to call you guys from my phone using voice chat. So obviously, guys, if you guys play ERLC, you guys know they have a phone, and the entire game is in their contacts list, as well as Greenville, I guess, too, as well. The entire game, every player in that session is on your contacts list. So anybody can text you, anybody can call you. I brought up the idea to Kai. I was like, are you going to be able to give like phone numbers or contacts or anything? He's like, oh, that's a good idea. So I think the way that Southwest Florida is going to do it, they're going to have some sort of way where you have to go up to the person and ask them to like their phone number or their contact or something like that, which is going to be nice. So then you don't have the entire server calling your phone. Also, for wheel colors, aftermarket wheels will have color options, and I'm not too sure if this is for all aftermarket wheels, but they will have color options. Now, stock wheels do not have that option. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is basically all of the information that Kai gave me about the revamp, and holy crap, we got a lot of freaking information, dude. I'll tell you that right now. But ladies and gentlemen, this is just making me more and more excited for the Southwest Florida revamp. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is basically it for this week's episode of Channel 69 News. This is a super long episode, but lots of good information, crazy information. So hope you guys did enjoy this week's episode. Stay tuned for next week, and I'll actually read the comments. So comment some ideas of stuff to put on the screen. I'm going to stop yapping. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate every single one of you for watching this week's episode of Channel 69 News, and I will see you guys next week.